cool one to show off. This is the first build that I've done in a 44 millimeter case with a 35 millimeter Kraken dial. So this is on a Seagull ST36 hand wind movement. So there's not a lot of modifications I can do with these builds, other than a few options on the case coloring, unless I want to get into popping the AR coated sapphire out and Cerakoting, which hard to say if it will pop right back in or if I'll have to buy multiple pieces of glass and kind of work through busting them. That Cerakote adds a different, a new layer to it. So hard to say if these just might be the style that I do. Just maybe a polished brushed and a black, or maybe a blued case. I think I can find them in that. But these are 24 millimeter lug, 44 millimeter case with the crown guard on them. They come stock with the nice exhibition case back, so you can see the case back in there. So I just installed the dial. Normally with a 6497 you have a 9 o'clock seconds hand, but I would have to redesign the whole Kraken dial. I couldn't have raised areas over here because it's recessed. So I just tore down the movement and removed the seconds hand pinion and rebuilt it. So it was a very long build. And then just did an hour and minute hand. And I like the look of it. It's kind of simple. But AR coated sapphire. Good looking. Good look with it, with the bronzed Kraken dial. So I thought it turned out pretty awesome. Then this is one of my super soft leathers, Kraken engraved or branded. It is a 24 down to 22, 24 to 22 on both sides with a brushed clasp. And these are hand wind movements, and you can overwind them. You can bust the mainspring. So it's real simple. All you do is take the pressure off of the crown. See, it's just, if you see it lever there, it pushes against it. Right? All you do is wind it. You just wind, and it doesn't take as many winds as my normal builds. I think it just has a bigger wheel on there. So you wind it. I don't know what the power reserve is on these. I'll have to look into it. But I did build this yesterday at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock. So it's ran for what, 17 hours. So you wind whenever you can't wind anymore, it is wound up. And when you pull it to do one, you have to kind of get your fingernail under it. You can pull out. You can now set your, did I not do it far enough? There we go. You can now set your time. So you'll just pull this out. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 4:27 p.m.
4:27 p.m. When you're done, you just lift that up and it puts it right back over. That's literally it. So, not an automatic. It is a hand wind. And that is the build. And the little protective little thingies on the back here that you can peel off. You can kind of see it on the metal that are going around. But that's the build. And as with every build, comes with matching beads. It's entirely up to you whether you wear them or not. This is going to come in a Kraken box. And this is Kraken build, I think 117, but number 1 in the ST36 line. So I'm going to try to notate that ST36 on them. It's going to come with leather conditioner. This is good to keep this leather strap perfectly soft. Apply it, let it soak in, remove any excess. And some watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so that everything there in the center. And a microfiber. So that is the build. I hope you guys like it. It doesn't cost me as much to build this, but there's a lot less customization I can do. And on top of that, it takes me a lot longer. Over time, it will come a little bit better. But removing that pinion and that pinion wheel, taking off the bridge, and well, it's not really a bridge. It's a bridge-looking piece in the back. Basically, you got to take off this piece right here, and you got to take off this piece right here, and then you've got to trim part of the gearing and then reinstall it and put that back on and put this back on. But it was a bit hectic just to get rid of that pinion so that the dial would lay flat, because the dial won't lay flat when it's resting on a pinion that's sticking up in the air. And when you put pressure against that pinion, like whenever you're setting, you might not be able to see it, but your set screws that pin your movement down, it pushes the dial, seats it real tight, and whenever that pushed against that pinion, it would stop it. So I learned that I couldn't just clip it down a little bit. I had to get it completely flat. So it was a long process. But you can see it's running just great. All is well. And if you're looking for kind of a classy hand wind Kraken, here we go. So maybe it's going to you. If it is, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you like the watch. It is a little bit different. Winding it is a little weird. It doesn't like wind very fast, but maybe over time it just becomes easier, or maybe I'm just not as savvy with it. But I thought it turned out awesome, and the AR coating really makes that dial pop, so I was really, really, really happy with that. And that's not something you get out of my other builds. So you don't get the automatic like my other builds, and you don't get the as customization as I can, but you do get a cool sapphire. You get a cool kind of class look to it. So a little bit of an exchange there, and these are cheaper for me to make, so these will be easier on your pocketbook. So maybe it's going to you. If it is, like I said, I appreciate you a ton. I hope you love the watch, and yeah, that's it. If you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.